As Sherry would say so herself, there are many Sherry Turkles. There's the social scientist, the writer of books, the MIT professor, and the clinical psychologist, amongst a few. She has spent over 30 years studying the human-technology interaction and our ability to have relationships with each other. As an expert in mobile technology, social networking, and social robotics, she has written several books about how people relate to computational objects. She is currently a professor of the Social Studies of Science and Technology at MIT, as well as the founder and current director of the MIT Initiative on Technology and Self. She tells us how the computer profoundly shapes our ways of thinking and feeling, and how it doesn't just change our lives, it changes ourselves. Alone, together were the words used by Sherry Turkle when referring to the human interaction with technology at a recent TED Talk. Her approach to technology is more intimate and personal. She finds value in understanding people's subjective experiences with technology through their own personal narratives. She focuses on how they make sense of their ideas of self and others through meaningful interactions with the social and the material world. It wasn't too long ago when we asked ourselves, what would we do with computers? Now the question is, how would we get anything done without machines? How would we even survive? As Sherry would argue, we turn to new technology to fill the void, but as technology ramps up, our emotional lives ramp down. Unlike conventional media, the internet doesn't offer a stable or predictable media experience. Instead, it offers different applications that call forth different perceptions, feelings, and behaviors from users. It adds the novelty effect to our lives, and we come to it openly, willingly, and the connection is almost always guaranteed. Through her 30 years of study in the field, she has seen teenagers that prefer texting over talking on the phone because it's less risky or awkward, and there's no need to get involved. She has heard complaints from children that their parents are always on their phones, always checking emails. Sherry is concerned over the amount of human interaction people are happy to delegate to their phones and computers. She feels that we have reached a robotic state and we're losing our human effect. What about social networks? Weren't they meant to keep us social and engaged with other human beings? The truth is that they do quite the opposite. Our emotional well-being is directly connected to retweets, status updates, likes, texts, or whatever the engagement might be. Finding real human connection is difficult, but technology is always there, always ready for us to sign up, sign in, start a conversation, or pick up where we left off. We've developed an unhealthy attachment to our machines and have become addicted to how they make us feel. All we need to do is look around. Everyone is always having their attention divided between the world of people and this other reality. One of the biggest issues that Sherry has found is our ability to connect to ourselves when we're so connected somewhere else. Technology allows us to customize our lives. We have full control over what we say and how we say it. We get to edit, delete, and retouch. Not too little, not too much, just right. Face-to-face conversations, on the other hand, take place in real time, and we don't have the same control over what we're going to say. There's no backspace or undo buttons when we're dealing with human beings in a real-life environment. All of a sudden, we are completely vulnerable to the other person, and therefore, even more drawn to our safety machines. When Sherry says that we're alone together, she means that our ability to be in the world is compromised by all of the other stuff that we want to do with technology. As we pay attention to our phones, we are giving everybody the impression that we're physically there, but we're mentally somewhere else. Sherry claims that we're lonely, but we're afraid of intimacy. So we design technologies that will give us that sense of companionship without the demands of friendship. We create virtual worlds. We live for likes, all for the sake of that temporary high. We're constantly looking for validation and intimacy. This is confirmed by Sherry's narratives of people so desperately trying to connect to others through technological networks made available through mobile phones. Her concerns are about authenticity and reciprocity in relationships with machines that we may care for but cannot love us back. Sherry explains that as we turn to technology for solutions to our feelings of loneliness, inadequacy, and disappointment, we seem to end up ever more alone. She wants us to have conversations that are supremely human. She wants us to read each other's movements. Better yet, she wants us to reconnect to ourselves. Technology will continue to evolve. We're only in the beginning stages. Even though Sherry has seen the worst of all, she's still optimistic that we can gain our human powers back if we can learn how to press pause and start developing a more self-aware relationship with our devices. Just because we grew up with the internet, we think the internet is all grown up. She adds that by living this connected life, we run 3 risks. 1, we're too busy communicating to connect. 2, we're too busy communicating to think. And 3, we're too busy communicating to create. I hope that we can learn to disconnect and start making relationships a priority so that we can really experience the fullness and richness of life. Maybe if we disconnect, we'll feel more connected. I think Sherry would agree, as her studies have shown that we're putting screens between each other, and that unless we change our ways, we will lose the capacity for conversation and in the process, lose each other. We need to claim our real-life social skills, redefine and readjust our relationships with technology. Not too little, not too much, just right.